Hey everyone, welcome to Two Brothers in the Huddle. I'm Jordan Babineau.
And I'm Jonathan.
Hey, happy Tuesday, everyone. We are 3 weeks into the regular season. A lot has happened. We have teams that are undefeated. We have teams that are winless. And always great to start with this segment because two of the teams that both Monster and I play for, the Seattle Seahawks, visited the Minnesota Vikings, who had their home opener this week. It was I'd never been to Minnesota Stadium, Moss. It's my first time in US Bank Stadium.
Something to see out there, huh?
It was pretty cool. You know, they do this little crazy little skull thing, and they blow the big damn horn, and it's pretty cool. Everybody in the center like skull, skull.
Hey, you gotta love crowds like that, man. That's into the game and out there having fun, man. It's just a great atmosphere to play in as well.
I loved it. I think the noise was a problem for the offense, and it may not have shown in the early part of it. Seahawks scored on their opening first 3 drives, and then their 4th drive they missed a field goal. But you know, some things happening in Seattle. I mean, they haven't been able to have as fast a start in the second half as they have to start the game. Shane Waldron, the new offensive coordinator, has, I mean, first half, they've been on fire. He and Russell Wilson have been dialing it in. And second half has just been a lot slower. I mean, all 3 games. They haven't scored in the third quarter.
What do you think the problem is on offense? Like, what do they need to do to get started fast again?
You know what most offensive coaches and script the first 15 plays of the game. They have a script sheet, and then by that time they're into the flow of the game, right? I mean, you know what the defense is doing. At least you have an idea. But I think that maybe even scripting the first drive or first 2 drives of the second half could be helpful. You know, Minnesota did they played this 2 trap or this 2 carry type of coverage. They kept 2 high safeties. They didn't let Russell Wilson get the deep ball with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. And I think that's where the Seahawks kind of stuttered a little bit, or sputtered. Their offense did. They wasn't able to get the big play. So I think with the big matchup coming up this week against the 49ers, they got their division rival now, back-to-back weeks here, or they go to San Francisco and then home against the Rams on a Thursday night game. These 2 games could really determine a lot of the direction of the season. But, Seahawks fans are upset. Back-to-back losses. They're a little frantic. I don't know what to do. This has never happened before.
It's funny you mentioned that matchup that's coming up between them and San Fran, and they're on the road again this week. There's a lot of talk about the defense as well. The defense has been struggling in the first 3 games of the season. Going against a high-powered offense like San Fran, what are some key things, some things that they need to do in order to be successful on defense and maybe pull out a win?
Well, this is your old head coach in Shanahan, he wasn't
OC.
Shanahan wasn't your head coach. He was your offensive coordinator.
Yeah, OC.
Yep. And so I looked at Gary Kubiak's son, is Clint Kubiak, I believe is his name. He was the offensive coordinator in Minnesota, and you saw a lot of misdirection.
Oh yeah,
that we zigzagging, the flow was going one way and cut back lanes.
That's Shanahan.
And I think the same thing is going to happen against the 49ers. I think Shanahan's going to dial up similar plays that have flow going one way, throwing back motions and shifts and get this defense on the heels. I think Seahawks defense played on their heels the entire game against the Minnesota Vikings and didn't really control much of the game. Now, here's the good thing. The Vikings scored, in the second half. The Seahawks didn't score in the second half. Defensively, they held them to field goals, but these were 10-play, 9-play, 16-play scoring drives that led to field goals. And then offensively, they only had the ball for, I think, 7 minutes in the second half. So you can't win like that. How'd your Falcons do?
Oh, man, hey, we must have used that sage, man. We took it on, went on up to the Big Apple, man. Rolled around the stadium, walked in the locker rooms, on the field. We hit it. We hit it.
Sage.
We finally got a dub. Young Ho Cool came through in the clutch.
Cool hit the game winner.
Man, he hit the game winner like it was in the backyard playing football.
Like he's supposed to.
That kid got ice in his veins. But, man, I was happy to see them win. I think they struggled at times, offensively and defensively. But hopefully we can piggyback off this win. We got Washington coming up this week. You know, a team like us that's been struggling, but that has a lot of talent. So it should be a great matchup. But I'm hopefully my Falcons can get back to 500. To start this fourth week in the NFL season off, and hopefully they can progress from there.
Yeah, looking at the schedule, they have the football team, Jets, Dolphins, and in a tough matchup against the Panthers.
Oh yeah,
they could turn a corner pretty fast, and I mean certainly those are winnable games. I think the Panthers game would probably be the biggest challenge of the four. Although the Dolphins played The Dolphins,
man. The Dolphins have talent. I think they're struggling as far as getting the identity on offense because their starter is hurt.
Yeah.
Now you have a backup quarterback with a different type of energy, or he has to run different plays that you're not used to, and that can throw a team off. It's probably going to take them a few weeks to get acclimated to the backup quarterback, but. Man, I'm just looking forward to this week in the NFL. There's always something going on around the NFL.
Always something happening in the league for sure, and there's a lot of storylines.
How about Josh?
Probably, I was going to say, one of the biggest storylines this week is, Commissioner reinstating Josh Gordon, and few of us on the radio staff here in Seattle was talking about what Gordon would look like if he came back. Or once he was reinstated, if the Seahawks would go after him. It sounded like the Chiefs beat everybody to the punch and probably had this, in the making for quite some time. What do you think of adding a weapon like Josh Gordon to a 1-2 team, Chiefs? I mean, I can't even believe we're even saying that right now here at the end of September that the Chiefs are 1-2.
Insane.
Yeah.
Josh is 30 years old, man. He came into the league in 2012. Ran into a lot of trouble along the way. He had a Pro Bowl season his second year of his NFL season, and it's just been downhill for the kid. What keep possessing people to give this guy another opportunity or believe in this kid one more time? And he continued to get shots after shot, but when is enough is enough.
When is enough? Well, I think that's probably a decision made by the commissioner, and certainly looking at the violation of the rules. They thought that commissioner and his staff thought that it merited another opportunity. You don't see this very often. The players don't get this many opportunities to come back to the league and still have a chance to live their dreams. And what I hope for Josh Gordon is that it actually hits him that, this is still rare, and maybe he doesn't care about football as much as the fans love to see him playing football. Mm-hmm. And maybe, that could be an issue too. But Andy Reid taking a chance. He's like, yeah, we're going to put all the weapons around Mahomes as we can. And even if he's a distraction, he's a good distraction for a defense to try to figure out how this Chiefs team is going to implement him into the offense with Kelsey and Tyreek. And I think that they could make a charge and make a run midway through the season and still put themselves in position. I think this AFC West division is probably just as tough as this NFC West division.
Yeah, with the Chiefs adding Josh, man, I think they became more powerful. I'm happy to see Josh back. Hopefully, learn from it. The kid has a lot of talent. He played in the league since 2012, but really only played 30-something games. You know,
Yeah.
that's not a lot to say that you've been in the league for 9 years.
Well, you say fresh legs, huh?
He got fresh legs. Hopefully he got, you know, a great mindset, you know, going into the season. And, you know, he has a great opportunity that a lot of people don't get, like you said, man. And he just got to utilize that to the best of his ability, show his talent, and get out there and have fun. If this was what he want to do, he need to get out there and show us.
Well,
But
we'll find.
man,
We'll find out.
like you said, that AFC West, it's tough.
Chargers,
It's tough.
Broncos, Chiefs sitting at 1 and 2. Yeah, much like the Seahawks, Chiefs are sitting at the bottom of their division. It was very different last year. The Seahawks started 5-0, and the Chiefs they don't lose in September. So,
so if I'm a fan of KC, should I be worried right now? Because I haven't seen this in the last 3 years. This is new to me.
And this is what I tell Seahawks fans. I say, you're too damn spoiled, right? It's like, man, it's the league, man. You know, it could happen.
Hey, sometimes you got to work for it a little bit, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
You got to work for it a little bit more than you think. Yeah. So it's always fun to see how things unfold. It's still early in the season. You know, and I don't think either franchise, the Chiefs nor the Seahawks fans, need to be concerned or hit the panic button at this point. All right, Marcel, you know what time it is?
What time is it, baby?
It's time for that. Damn! Did you see that?
Damn, homie. Let's talk
Marcel,
about it.
What was your damn? Did you see that moment this week in the NFL?
Man, I want to talk about the Cincinnati Bengals real quick. You know, going into Pittsburgh last weekend and putting on the show like they did was unbelievable. Do you hear me? Let's talk about this play right here with Joe Burrow to his new wide receiver / teammate in college, Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Man, you talking about an optimal deep threat. This kid can run like a deer, get past the secondary with ease. And all Joe has to do is hang it up there, and the kid is going to go get it. Man, awesome play before halftime to go up 14-7 against the Pittsburgh Steelers at their home place. Damn, did you see that?
Yes, I did see that. I mean, Burrow and the Bengals have, you know, new hope. The organization does. And Burrow is lighting it up to go into Pittsburgh and, you know, and get a win against a Mike Tomlin defense. Yeah, they did something special. I really like that play. And this kid Chase is going to be a player.
I got a recant on what I said a few weeks back about the Pittsburgh Steelers going to be in contention for the AFC Championship. I don't know if they're going to be in contention for the playoffs. We're talking about playoffs. Come on,
the AFC, man.
They haven't showed nothing since they beat Buffalo in Buffalo. I mean, It's just been downhill. Big Ben has been getting beat up back there. I mean, I might be second guessing myself right now, but I'm
already. We're only 3 weeks in.
I know, but they're going the opposite way.
They're going the wrong way.
They're going the wrong way.
They're going down.
But we'll see. What was your damn did you see this moment of the week?
Yeah, my damn did you see that moment comes from the special teams part of the game. I know everyone at games go get, you know, their beer and run to the bathroom and you know, concession stands during special teams. But for those who played special teams know how important it is, and especially when you're on the road. My damn did you see that moment comes on the special team side of the game. It was the Jacksonville game. We have Jamal Agnew decided to, well, the Cardinals decided to kick a 68-yard field goal at the end of the half. But watch this play here. Agnew catches the ball on the heels of the 110, the heels, 109 yards. He's like, oh, man, you going to kick this? Tell you what, you better make it. He's like, damn, did you see that speed? It's what ran away from everybody.
Hey, we all know we didn't play special teams before in the league. We all know if there's a return, which way is it going to go?
To the sideline, man. You got to get to your
Come
old
on,
team
man.
sideline.
Everybody knows that they're going to return to the home team sideline.
Yep, return to your sideline. Yep,
Great
everyone
play.
knew it except the Cardinals.
Great play by Jaguars. Unfortunately, that was the last time they scored in that game.
Yeah, that was the biggest highlight for that game for the Jags, and something to get excited about. And then, that was a failed attempt. How about the Ravens? I mean, I think there's going
right?
I think there's going to be a bus in the Hall of Fame of Justin Tucker's leg. 66 yards, man.
Wow, man.
NFL record. And poor Detroit Lions. I mean, they've been fighting and clawing to get a win. But, I mean, as much as we can talk about Tucker's 66-game-yard winner, we can talk about this fourth down conversion now 2 weeks in a row with their all-pro quarterback, Lamar, to put them in position to do that. And, man, Justin Tucker just nails it. Hits the crossbar, which just added a little bit more, anxiety as the ball just hung up in the air and fell into good. It was a good field goal.
Hey,
Look at that.
we always say at practice, like, damn,
Boink.
all the damn kickers do is just kick the ball and then they chill the rest of the practice.
Yeah.
Right? So we like, okay, when you get in that game time moment, all you do is kick and chill. So now it's time for you to kick, and we just all crossing our fingers, hoping that he can produce his job and do his job well. Man, hats off to Justin Tucker and that great comeback win over the Detroit Lions at the end of the game, man. Baltimore is something special. I think they're a team that know how to finish the game. And, it's going to be a great matchup with them in Denver this week.
2 weeks in a row, Lamar Jackson on fourth down comes through in the clutch for his team and sets them up to – I mean, you talk about a team that just got hit too pretty hard with injuries in the last 2 weeks to beat the Chiefs. And then, you need one of these. It's like, man, how you guys almost lost to the Detroit Lions? Well, you're on the road. You need one of these. And this you and I know both. We talk about this. We both had Dan Quinn as our coach at one point. And, much throughout the league, when you go on the road, you got to pack your defense and you got to pack your special teams. And I always say, we say in the special teams room that special teams have to win 3 games. They have to win 3 games. This was one of those games I think the Ravens will look back later in the season and say, we really needed this win against the Detroit Lions. Hats off to the Baltimore Ravens.
Great job.
Our other storyline of the week is Tom Brady returns to New England. And, I know the Bucs went over to L.A. and, faced Matthew Stafford and this crazy wizard of a head coach. The Rams are playing really good football, but it's all about the Bucs and Tom Brady headed to New England. What do you think the welcome would be for Tom Brady when they introduce him as the Bucs starting quarterback?
I think it's going to be nothing less than a standing ovation. I mean, that guy has changed that organization single-handedly and just changed the whole atmosphere of playing with Tom Brady and how you play with him. It's not I'm going to go through the motions with Tom Brady. It's like it's all out. For whatever reason, people play hard for him. And that's why he has 6 rings. Now, we got to give Belichick credit as well, because he is a mastermind. He understands the game inside and out. He understands defenses. That's his specialty. And New England has had some no-name defenses and came up with Super Bowl wins. So I know what kind of attributes that Tom Brady brings and also Belichick brings to the game. But, yeah, man, this is going to be a great matchup. The atmosphere is going to be crazy. It's going to be insane. They're going to have the fireworks. They're going to have the Patriots guy in the background with the mascot head on dancing. I mean, it's going to be a full-time parade because Tom Brady has done so much for this organization, for that city. And, they just want to give him his flowers. Even though he's on the other sideline, they still going to give that man his flowers. And I think the Bucs are going to pull it out. Why? Because their back is against the ropes, right? It just came off a excruciating loss to the Rams that just went after them. I mean, they hit Brady in every angle they could. I mean, they gave Brady everything they could, and they came out with a win. Those guys are playing tough right now. But I don't see it as an easy game for Tom, even though I think they're going to win. I think Bill Belichick knows Tom Brady inside out. He knows what he likes, he doesn't like. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup. But I'm looking forward to seeing how everybody reacts to Tom Brady going back home.
I bet Tom Brady has never even seen the visitors' locker room. It's like it's going to be quite different for him to be on the opposite sideline. But you said it; he's changed the franchise, the community, the city. The trajectory of that organization. It's been something. Cool to see. And obviously we both played against Brady at one point. And, they have this, I think they're called the gun line militia over when you at their home crowd. They got the gun line, the guy sitting in the back of the end zone and fire the guns. But it's no place like home, and certainly for Brady, he knows that that's a special place. I like the Bucs in this matchup as well. Mac Jones and this Belichick new identity is still kind of unwrinkling. They haven't they don't have it dialed in completely just yet. But looking at that AFC East, the only team that seems to be the front runner is Buffalo. So we'll wait to see how those matchups play out throughout the rest of the season.
What do you think? How many touchdowns you think Tom's gonna have?
Oh, I'll give him 3. I think 3 is a good number, a solid number. I mean, they are likely to pass the ball, and they are likely to create a game plan around Brady that allows him to shine. And I don't think they ran the ball as well as they did against the Rams last week. I don't think anybody runs the ball well against the Rams. So he probably had to throw it a few more times than he wanted to. But he and Leftwich, the OC, I think they'll create a game plan that makes Tom Brady shine. I mean, look, he's played against Belichick.
35 attempts.
Oh, over 35. Over 35 attempts. Yeah.
Closer to 40.
Yeah. I think the number is about 39 to 41 attempts for Brady this week. Yeah.
So when Brady goes back to New England, does he stay in his old house or does he stay in the team hotel?
I thought he sold it.
Oh, did he?
I don't know. I can't keep up with Brady. I mean, the guy eats avocado ice cream. I mean, shit.
You say he do not what now?
He eats avocado ice cream, man. I mean, you want
that? Is that good for your skin or something?
The TB12 advantage or whatever, whatever he calls it. His diet regimen is too strict for me.
Making them feel young, right?
I don't know what it's doing. It's an anti-aging formula.
Is it for the hair?
It's an anti-aging formula. I mean, the guy does not look like he's played 20 years.
Yeah,
other than his mind. Other than his mind.
Yeah, he got that baby face.
I'm looking across the NFL and I'm looking at standings. Right now, you have the Panthers leading your NFC South. They're undefeated. The Arizona Cardinals and the Rams, they're undefeated. And the only other undefeated team is the Raiders. Who do you think loses first? Or who do you think will stay undefeated? Who will be the last standing undefeated team?
That is a good old question. That's a tough question.
The last standing undefeated team.
But I'm going to have to pick the Rams. Why? Because those guys are flying around, not only on offense and defense, but special teams. Those guys are on a mission. They're flying around. They got a new defensive coordinator, Raheem, and he's doing a great job with them.
Right.
Man, they are having fun. It looked like us back in 2015 and 16 in Atlanta, which was the same defense we were running. So I see the Rams being the last team to be undefeated.
Well, the Raiders got the Chargers this week. The Chargers, the Bears, and the Broncos. I don't know. You're as surprised as I am to see the Raiders 3-0.
I am. I very am, because the first game of the season, it was like, whoa. I mean, I was like, how many years they signed John Gruden for?
Yeah,
this got to be
a decade.
3, 4.
A decade. And look, the Raiders' best season in the last 10 years, I think, has been 500. Yeah.
Wow. Hey, but there was a fun fact that I did see on the Raiders. The last time they went 3-0, they went to the AFC Championship game, or they went on
Super
to
Bowl,
win the division.
Ah.
Yeah. So I think with all the confidence now with them, they know how to finish the game, that's for sure. So even if they're down, I think they still have the confidence to come back and believe in themselves that they can. So it's going to be a great, interesting football season.
Well, the Panthers, looking at the Panthers schedule for the next 3 weeks, they have the Cowboys, Eagles, and the Vikings. I don't see them getting through that gauntlet of games.
I don't see them getting through Dallas.
Dallas looked good last night. That looked
awesome.
good last night. Defense is playing
legit.
good.
I think Dallas is back. I think they look a whole lot better with Dak being back there at quarterback. It gives them so much energy, and then now with my old head coach as the defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn, got those boys flying around.
DQ got them looking good. Tips and overthrows.
Got to get those.
Yes, sir.
Got to get those. Baby. They playing fast. They are playing fast out there, creating turnovers. Wide receiver slips down. Guess what? It's a pick 6 for Dallas. I love it. I like it. A lot of people hate Dallas, but that was my team growing up as a kid. So I'm happy to see Dallas doing something.
I can't say the same. Not my team as a kid.
Man, you already, even when we were kids, you didn't like Dallas. So I ain't even tripping on that. On top of you tackled Tony Romo when he fumbled the ball on an extra point that basically sent y'all to the playoffs, to the NFC. Well, that was the NFC Championship, right?
It was wild card. So
wild card.
Went on to play Chicago the next season. Next week.
But Dallas was key to win that game, and Romo coughed it up, and you were able to track him down by doing your job. And man, you've been having a bullseye on your back ever since, man. A lot of Cowboy fans don't really like the last name Babineau.
Hey, I'm just tell you, I liked playing the Cowboys, man. Look, we played the Cowboys in the preseason game, man. I had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. We played the Cowboys in the regular season. I think Bledsoe was the quarterback. I had the interception, set us up for the game-winning field goal. I was like, Cowboys? They on the schedule? Man, it's time to shine. I don't know. A lot of that came from knowing the fact that growing up in Texas, that was
and you didn't like them anyway.
No, I ain't like them. That was America's team.
Who was your team again?
I can't say it. Seahawks fans won't.
Come on, say it. Everybody, who was your team?
I was a Steve Young and Jerry Rice fan. I'm going to say that. That's who I was.
There it is,
Roger Craig.
He's a 49er fan.
I used to do the Merton Hanks.
Oh, yeah. What about the Ken Norton?
And then, Ken. And then when Prime got there, so I was a player's fan of the team that played in San Francisco. I wasn't a 49ers fan.
Yeah.
So look, I want to go back because the question is Dak a top 5 quarterback? But before I wanted to I wanted to give you the team that I think will remain undefeated the longest is also my bold prediction for this week, and I'll tell you that here in just a second. But it's gonna be a big bold prediction. So is Dak a top 5 quarterback or what do you think?
Dak is up there. I wouldn't say he's top 5 yet, but he's definitely top 8. You know, the kid got a lot of potential. He's no different than Russell Wilson or all the young quarterbacks that's out there moving around. You know, he fires his offense up. He gets them going. You know, the kid has a lot of potential. I think he's still got a lot out there left. You know, some opportunities last night I seen in the game where he could have capitalized on, but didn't see them. But you know, that comes with being a veteran and maturing as you continue to grow in your career. But you know, eventually when he's done, he's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer. But I do not see him right now as a top 5 quarterback.
That's surprising. I'm surprised by it. I'm trying to see if I could pull this up, but I like Dak as a top 5 quarterback. Let's see. If we're to go through the top 5, let's see. You got Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. Who sits at 4? Is that Lamar and then Dak? Or is that Roethlisberger?
No, Ben not top 5 anymore.
He fell out the top 5.
Ben look old. He look old.
Well, he could never really move. You know, he was just too. You know, he sat big in the pocket, and you just couldn't bring him down. But so Ben's he's run his way out of the top 5. So who do you have at 4 and 5? Is that like you putting Josh Allen in there already? I mean, he ain't did nothing.
We got to go with the gunslinger out west.
Oh, you can put Matthew up there.
Oh, for sure.
Matthew Stafford, the top 5. I mean, look, Stafford is great at producing stats, just not so great at winning playoff games.
Well, let's take what Matthew Stafford had in Detroit. 1, he had to run for his life, right? 2, he had Megatron for 7 or 8 years, right? That helped him out, but he just didn't have the talent on defense to help him out. I mean, he only could throw but so much and do so much. But, you know, now that he's out west, you look at that game on Sunday, I mean, it was dink, dunk, deep, dink, dunk, middle, deep.
Couldn't stop
slinging that ball.
I mean, he putting 50 Cent into the bubblegum machine every time he stepped back, right?
That's what the Rams needed, man.
Candy.
They definitely needed something like that on their team, and you can see a big difference between last quarterback and him.
All right, well then keep going. Who else? Who else you putting before Dak then? If Dak's not in it, if Dak's number 6,
you got to put Matt up there.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Looking at framework of career. I understand. You looking at framework of career. Now,
look at Matt numbers.
Matt is not a top 5 quarterback today.
Look up Matt numbers.
I know, Matt. I know what he does.
Your computer right there in front of you. Go ahead and Google his name and pick up his stats.
I know what Matt Ryan can do. I don't think he's a top 5 quarterback today. Now, Matt Ryan may very well be a Hall of Fame quarterback. But I don't think he's a top 5.
Oh, for sure. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, Matt might not be the prettiest quarterback back there running around. You know, he might give you a good scramble every 5 games, something like that. And the other games, he getting shoelace tackle. But
I sense a little bias.
Look at it. If you look at his game, and I'm not saying this because I play with him. I mean,
really? Oh, is that not why you're saying it?
Nah.
That ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah. But Matt put up the numbers, man. For me, it was all about the numbers with Matt. And he proved himself throughout his career. Continue to put up the numbers. So we always look at it as a stat game, right? So we're gonna look at everything else as stats. That's why we record them, because they something to see and something to look at.
Well,
go ahead, pull it up.
Let's see. Let me see. Let me pull up Matt Ryan's.
He got all
right. So right now, Matt is 22nd in passing yards, and he has four touchdowns and 3 interceptions. I'm talking this season. Yeah, this season. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I can tell you two of those
interceptions.
Let me tell you 2 of those interceptions.
Oh, man, he defending Matt. He go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna defend Matt because I know when I see football. And this is the O-line let the defensive lineman get his hands up. We all know that me and you play football, and basically offensive lineman should never let a D lineman get his hands on the ball. All right, that's 1. 2, you got a young wide receiver that stops at the sticks and just sit there and not go back to the ball, and that allow the defender to undercut and take a pick 6. So that's two of your interceptions. I mean, they're going to happen. Things like that is going to happen. But again, we're not talking about just this season, Jordan. We talking about Matt since he came into the league since 2008.
Well, that's okay. I'm talking about today. Is Matt? As you said, Ben. We could look at Ben, a Hall of Fame quarterback, and his body of work. His body of work says the same thing. And Matt Ryan is he a top 5 quarterback today? Okay, let's go. I'll go through my list again.
Okay, so that's like saying Mahomes. Tom Brady. Is Tom Brady top
today?
5 quarterback?
He is. So so that may just put Dak out of the top 5. He may be number 6. He may be like right knocking at the door. You got Mahomes, you got Wilson, you got Rodgers, you got Brady, and you got Lamar. And then I think Dak. I think Dak is right there knocking on the door. He gets healthy, have a healthy season, gets his team to the playoffs, and then does it again next year. He's definitely a quarterback of the future.
So you're still saying Matthew Stafford is not a top 5 quarterback?
No. You gonna put him? Who are you gonna put him in front of?
I'll put him in front of Lamar all day long.
Man, I don't know.
I want to get long.
Nah, dog. Give me Lamar.
Lamar is a dual threat. He can do both. But can Lamar pass better than Matthew Stafford?
Well, I mean, I guess that depends on your offensive philosophy. Do you want a passing quarterback who sit back there and make jelly sandwiches all day? Or you want a football player who, like, it's 4th down, give me the ball, I'm going to get this for my team?
Matthew Stafford.
All right. Well, that means Dak is not a top 5 quarterback.
No.
Dak, you're knocking on the door.
He's knocking on the door.
Yep. He's knocking on the door. All right. Surprisingly, who do you, the league leader right now is Derek Carr. He has his team 3-0. All right. So look, I'll get to my I want to get to my bold prediction. And then this is the team that I think will go the longest undefeated of the few remaining undefeated teams. And that is the Arizona Cardinals will beat the Los Angeles Rams this week at SoFi.
Woo.
Yes, sir.
I like it. I like that bold prediction. But here's my bold prediction, baby. We was just talking about it. Baltimore winning a crazy game at the end on the road against the Detroit Lions. But guess what? That's just going to set them up for this week for the matchup against the Denver Broncos. And Denver, baby, it should be a good one. And my bold prediction is the Ravens are going to kick a game-winning field goal again to win the game.
Ravens they've been playing some nail biters, and but they've been finding ways to win, and that's what you like about them. And guess what? Guess who's leading that team? One of the top 5 quarterbacks.
Okay, I like it.
Lamar, man.
But what happened to your top 5 quarterback the first game of the season?
Yep. I mean, hey.
Yeah.
Even the best lose. Even the best lose. I can say the same thing about Aaron Rodgers. First week of the season, it's like, Aaron Rodgers, trade him. He don't even care about the team. He trying to throw the season away. It's like, Man, you guys don't know football, and clearly I can tell you this guy Aaron Rodgers is the real deal. Whether he went out there and had a 40 quarterback rating in week 1 or not, you saw what he did.
So is Aaron Rodgers
Sunday night?
One?
Is Aaron Rodgers number 1 quarterback?
Yeah.
Mahomes.
Wow.
Mahomes number 1.
Wow.
And then number 2, Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Mahomes is just doing freaky stuff that you haven't seen. Like, he's changing the game. Like, he's changed it. Well, he's changed the game.
But have you seen him this season? It's kind of gotten him in a little bit of trouble. And
you know what? You know who? And I think this I'm checking my football almanac and knowledge. But is it Brett Favre or is it Tom Brady that has thrown the most interceptions in the in league history? Right? I mean, that doesn't. Mahomes throws 2 interceptions in a game, whatever. Okay. He can't be perfect all the time. He had his first loss in September in 3 years.
You have over 100 million yards that the interceptions don't even really matter. It's just a number that's out there that just so happen need to be recorded. So you're saying the numbers that they put up in the touchdowns overshadows.
Yeah, his touchdown to interception ratio is crazy. Mahomes' touchdown to interception ratio is trust me, one of the best in the league.
Oh, I'm sure.
Of all time. And he's still young and getting there. Had a Super Bowl champ early. Certainly this team is still in its championship window. But I definitely see Aaron Rodgers still as a number 2, the second best quarterback. And people can argue either way. I mean, they got. I'm sure people put Aaron Rodgers above Mahomes for their own reason. And look, it's just my top 5. Your top 5 may be different, and that's okay. We can agree.
All right, we got to talk about the last bowl prediction this week because I think it's going to be a big game. I think the winner will go on to the playoffs, and I think the loser might be sitting home watching the playoffs. Let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks versus your childhood team, 49ers. Who you
big
got?
Matchup this week.
Got to be a tough decision for you.
No, it's a big matchup this week. I don't see the Seahawks losing 3 in a row. And, I look at all of the challenges that they had last year in the first 8 games as a defense. They were the worst in NFL history, yet they started the season, I believe, 7-1 with 5-0, I know for sure. And so I think that there's some things to figure out on the defensive side of the ball. But they got to find ways to get off the field. I think the Vikings last week converted 6 third downs in a row. Third down is the money down, man. You got to get off the field. Whatever it takes to get off the field, you got to get off the field. Get Russell Wilson the ball in the second half, and then they'll produce. But I like the 49ers and what they've been doing so far with all of their healthy roster back intact. I don't see the Seahawks losing 3 in a row.
So you're saying you're going against your childhood team?
I'm going with the better team. I'm going with the better team, Boston.
In that case, I'm going with the better team as well. I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers, and here's why. There's a game changer on the other side. Garoppolo plays very, very, very well. But you also have a rookie quarterback that kind of reminds you of Kaepernick. You remember that guy? Somebody
what he's doing with Trey Lance.
Hey, he is Kaepernick mixed with Lamar Jackson.
We'll see how special he is. I will tell you, watching the game last week, it was pretty bold, and this shows a lot about Shanahan's philosophy and his approach to the game. That they would go for it on 4th down to end the half.
Why not?
That was a gutsy move. But that's what I like about him. Is that that his personality that he showed when you guys were in Atlanta, or did he grow did he grow into being this aggressive head coach?
We were very aggressive. We were very aggressive, and that got us in a lot of great situations throughout the season that year. But unfortunately, it kind of bit us in the butt at the end of that Super Bowl.
Yep.
I think we can recant on what happened. I'll give you my perspective of what happened watching it live. It's third down and whatever, and Julio makes a great sideline catch. I mean, for a crucial first down to keep the game going, right?
Run the ball.
It's about 3 minutes and something left in the game. Okay, philosophy. Let's get aggressive and run the ball. Well, guess what we do? We passed the ball 3 times in a row.
3 in a row. Yep.
Right? Matt got sacked. You got a holding call, and something else happened, right? So we definitely out of field goal range. Now we got to punt the ball.
Was that a punt, or was that the crazy tip over the shoe interception?
That was a reception, but that was after that, right? So if we punt the ball, we gave him the ball back at the end. I think the second half defense was out there a bunch because the offense was going 3 and out a lot that second half. But I felt like we wasn't aggressive like we should have been after halftime. But then when it got closer to the end of the game, I think we got a little bit too aggressive when we should have been doing something else.
Yeah.
But you live and you learn from it, man. I was just blessed to have the opportunity to play in the Super Bowl. Like yourself, a lot of people don't even get that opportunity to even see the playoffs. So, it is what it is. Kudos to everybody that was involved that season. It was a great memorable season that I'll remember for the rest of my life. And hopefully we can get another one, man. But Kyle is going to have the 49ers ready for your Seahawks. And matter of fact, I might send Kyle an email and tell him that you need to put Trey Lance in the game a little bit more so we can get some more points on that defense of yours.
You trying to boost your fantasy points or something like that. So, if the Seahawks lose this game, then the question is, will they make the playoffs?
No. It's going to be very hard for them to make the playoffs out of the NFC West. Here's why. You got the undefeated Rams that is just balling over right now. And you also have the Arizona Cardinals, who is playing as well as the Rams. So you already have 2 teams that's 3 games ahead of Seattle right now, maybe 4. But it's going to be very hard for either the 49ers or the Seattle Seahawks to come back out of this hole if they go 1-4 after this weekend.
Yeah. They're 1-2. 1-2 right
1
now.
and 3.
Seahawks are 1-2. The 49ers are 2-1, and the other 2 teams are 3-0.
It's gonna be very hard for Seattle to come out this hole.
I agree. I mean, it's in week 4, if you're talking about a must win, then I think many Seahawks fans will be planning their Mexican and Hawaiian vacation in January pretty early. So we'll see what happens. It's a great matchup. I don't think that Russell Wilson will let this team, Pete Carroll will let this team fall 3 games in a row. And then, well, we'll see what the 49ers do as well. Should be a great week 5 ahead, and week 4, a great week 4 ahead. Always fun and exciting to see, and always a pleasure to talk football with you, 2 brothers in the huddle.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.